All right, good practice.
What's ECU? How have they been so successful stopping the run thus far?
They, they got three big defensive linemen up front that do a great job of holding their gaps, and their read techniques is what they do instead of penetrating. Their linebackers do a great job of fitting where they're supposed to fit. I think they understand their scheme and they play it really well right now. And I think their personnel really fits what they're trying to do.
Do you believe things like recruiting rankings, those kinds of things, ECU isn't the most talented team? What does that say just about Ruffins' ability to develop guys?
I think if you look at those players that are out there on the field, I don't care. If you look at rankings, recruiting rankings, then they wouldn't be able to play. But it's obvious that they've got players. I mean, you look out on that field, they got guys that can play. And that quarterback, those receivers, they got running backs, they got defensive linemen, they got every position. They got a punter that I don't know where he fits in the national scene, but he's averaging 48 yards a kick. He hit a 63-yarder in the first game. Their kicker's putting the ball in the end zone. In every phase of the game, they're a very good football team.
What was it that they were able to do that was so successful against you guys last year, and what do you need to do differently this time?
Well, they got us with tempo. They completed passes. They were able to run the football. They were able to score at will. I don't know what else to tell you. Pretty much whatever they wanted to do, and then we didn't do enough offensively. We didn't make any special plays in the special teams. So it was pretty much they had their will last
year. You said before the year, you said it's time before the year to step forward as a program.
Yeah, it is.
Given that, how big of a game is this?
It's just as big a game as the last game. It's a big game. When you say it's time, that means every game we play is big, and so this one's very big. This is an in-state team that is a good football team. And we need to, we're going to their place. We know it's going to be a hostile crowd. It should be a lot of noise. It should be a fun atmosphere to play in. So it ought to be a heck of a game, and you ought to. Everybody ought to look forward to games like this.
The players have talked about kind of using this game as motivation, dating back really to the end of the season last year. Have you seen that this week? Have you seen a little extra pep in their step?
I tell you what, I'm really proud that our guys, all the way from day one of camp, we've talked about being consistent with the way we practice, and I really feel like they've done that. I don't think we've gotten too high. I don't think we've gotten too low. I can go all the way back to camp. There was one day I felt like we started slow and then we stopped it, picked it up and got it going. And it's been that way every day since. So I'm really pleased with the consistency of the way we're practicing, with the energy level and the way guys are moving around. And our guys know what this game is. They know. And, we haven't talked about it as a team. I haven't talked about, this is a new team. The team that they have right now is better than they were last year, and we're a different team from last year. So it's going to be all about Saturday.
What do you think is the key against a guy like Clark? It seemed like he really excelled against pressure on Saturday.
He's excelled on pressure. He's excelled when you drop back into coverage. He's just a really good quarterback. We're going to have to, I think you have to understand they're going to make some plays. That's going to happen. And so you got to do a great job. When they do, you got to tackle. You got to tackle in space. You can't let those short passes or intermediate passes turn into explosive plays. That's going to be very big. And then you can't worry about the last play. You got to go on to the next play and play the next play like it's the last one of the game. And so if you can do that and do it consistently, create some turnovers, then we'll be okay.
Aside from his experience having Norkeithus back, in what area does he make you better defensively, just by the simple fact that he's going to be out there?
Well, he does a great job of being relentless and putting pressure on a quarterback. So I expect him to do that also. He's gonna get home when he needs to, and this is the style that he plays his best in.
Coach, you put a huge emphasis on recruiting in the Charlotte area lately. But why is it so important for you guys to dominate that area in recruiting?
Well, there's a lot of good football players in that area. And when you look at the whole state, and you look at the history of it, you've got quite a few players that have come out of that area that we need to be in on every single year. And so, we've got a large fan base in that area, and we got a huge presence, and we want to continue to keep that.
Tackling has obviously been an emphasis since the last game. Can you tell if the team's gotten better leading
will
up
on
to the game,
Saturday.
or do you just have to wait and see on Saturday?
Yeah, you put in the work and you do the fundamentals and you do the drills, but you got to do it in a game. I mean, you got to carry those drills over, and hopefully the work that we put in, the guys, it'll be more natural and they'll carry it over.
Are you pleased with the response, and has it been a carryover?
In practice?
From
Oh, yeah.
I know you said last week was good. It's
Yeah.
been a carryover.
Oh yeah, I think we've been doing a great job of it in practice. Now the truth comes out on Saturday.
How do you think you guys will handle playing a first road game, this particular group, for the first time?
I mean, it's not something that I've sat around and worried about actually. I mean, but I do know that it's going to be loud. I mean, and that's why we practice the way we practice. I mean, we can snap the ball without a count. We can snap the ball with a count. I mean, we do it a lot of different ways offensively. I mean, why we prepare the way we prepare as far as our routine on a Friday and what we do is always the same whether we're on the road or at home. So, you got a bunch of kids that'll be going on the road for the first time in their lives. So, we'll have to see how they respond.
Forgot to